A car is moving at 65 miles per hour, no hands on the wheel, no eyes on the road, and nothing goes wrong. Perfect lane control, perfect distance, perfect decisions. This is what AI promises. Fewer crashes, fewer deaths, no human error. And for the first time, it actually works. But here is the part no one shows you. What happens when that system fails at 65 miles per hour? Not in testing, not in controlled conditions, in real traffic, when the driver is no longer a driver, when attention is already gone, when the system makes one wrong decision at full speed. Today you will see how AI makes transportation safer and at the same time more dependent, more centralized, and more fragile. And by the end, you will understand a failure scenario most people are not prepared for. Human drivers are predictable in one way. They fail. Distraction, fatigue, one wrong decision in a single second, a glance at a phone, a late reaction at an intersection, and everything changes. This is why accidents happen. AI removes that layer. It reacts faster than you can think, sees more than you can see, never gets tired, never looks away. Modern systems already break before you react. Hold distance, stay in lane, detect danger in low visibility, adjust speed instantly, and the results are real. Fewer collisions, smoother traffic, less chaos on the road. So the conclusion feels obvious. Remove the human, increase safety. But this is where the mistake begins, because removing the driver does not remove risk. It relocates it from a single moment to the entire system. The moment AI takes control, your role starts to fade. At first, you assist, then you supervise, then you stop paying attention. You are still in the driver's seat, but you are no longer driving, and your brain adapts fast. Attention drops, reaction slows, confidence rises. Without skill behind it, the system feels safe. You are not. This is already measurable. Drivers react slower in emergencies. They trust automation too much. They hesitate when control returns because they are not switching tasks. They are switching states, from passive to critical decisions in seconds, and most fail that transition. This is the hidden cost of convenience. The system trains you to depend on it. Then, at the worst moment, it expects you to perform perfectly, but you can't, because you stopped being the operator. Soon you will see why this is not just about you. It scales. Now zoom out. This is no longer about a single car. It is a system. Vehicles connected to the cloud. Navigation driven by live data. Traffic lights controlled by algorithms. Logistics optimized in real time. Everything is linked. Everything adjusts. Everything depends on everything else. This creates efficiency humans cannot match. Faster routes, less congestion, more predictable flow. But it also creates something else: coupling. When one part fails, others follow instantly. A GPS error misplaces thousands of vehicles. A server delay disrupts entire intersections. A faulty update spreads across fleets in minutes. A network outage turns smart systems blind. And here is the difference. Humans fail randomly. Systems fail together. That is what changes the risk. A human mistake stays local. A system mistake spreads across cities, across regions, at the same time. This is the critical shift. AI reduces frequent small errors. but it introduces rare, synchronized failures. Instead of one driver making a mistake, you get thousands of systems making the same wrong decision at once. A misread signal, a flawed model update, a corrupted data source, a false object detection, a routing error repeated across an entire network, and the response is identical across the entire system. Humans improvise, systems execute. If the input is wrong, the output is wrong, consistently, at scale. This is why fragility increases, not because the system is weak, but because it is unified. The more optimized it becomes, the less flexible it is under stress, and stress is inevitable. Weather disrupts sensors, signals get blocked, road markings fade, construction changes road geometry, data becomes incomplete, unexpected behavior appears where the model expects order, and in those moments the system does not adapt like a human. It waits, or reacts incorrectly, or hands control back too late. And delay at high speed is not neutral, it is dangerous. Here is the paradox most people miss. AI can make the average trip safer, while making the system itself more brittle. That is the trade. Less everyday chaos, more dependence on invisible layers that must work perfectly. So what does this actually mean for you? Not rejection, not fear, but awareness of the trade-off. You gain safety in normal conditions, but lose control in abnormal ones, and abnormal conditions decide outcomes. Stay capable of driving without assistance. Do not disconnect your attention. Treat automation as support, not replacement. And remember, convenience slowly erases competence, because dependence feels comfortable until it becomes irreversible. Now consider this carefully. Would you accept near-perfect safety if it means you cannot act when the system fails? Would you still call that control, or is it just managed safety? Most people have already chosen convenience without realizing what they gave up. And the next stage goes further. Because once transportation becomes automated, connected, and monitored, those systems stop being only about movement. They track behavior, predict patterns, flag anomalies, identify risk before any human asks a question. AI is already deciding how you move, but the next step is more aggressive. It will not just guide behavior. It will identify suspicion, assign probability, and influence who gets stopped, watched, or judged first. I will show you in the next transmission. Event classification, system automation, causation source, autonomous networks, control status, active. Monitoring continues.